Chillville Studio Tour 2025. Let's get right into it. What's up, y'all? This is Chillville Studio Tour 2025. I've been doing this annually, and this is the 2025 version of my studio tour in a 12 by 16 foot shed. So I'm gonna do a little 360 here. You're gonna get to see everything from the position I'm sitting in. Cool. Now we're gonna get into this section over here. So I like to pretend that this studio is in two different sections. So here I have my recording / seating on this side of the studio. But here I have my mixing section and control room. Of course, that's not what's happening here because it's in the same room. But in my mind, I like to think of this studio that way. So let's start with the seating area. So this is a futon, clearly, that somebody gave to me. They were throwing it out. And I was like, yeah, I'll take it. It's fairly comfortable. I typically don't sit on this because, you know, I'm usually in the mixing section. But, you know, I do sit here sometimes, just chill, hang out, listen to music, see how it sounds from here. But for the most part, this is for people that come over and hang out and chill. This seat right here is something that my father was throwing out. But, you know, I took it because who doesn't like free stuff? This chair right here is from Respawn. And this is a gaming chair, as you can see. And I cannot wait to replace this because it is not the most comfortable chair. If you guys have some good suggestions on a nice chair that's not crazy expensive, let me know, please. I have this guitar here that I bought off Facebook Marketplace. I'm not a guitar player, but I have been taking lessons and learning guitar. So I'm gonna grab this Les Paul style guitar. Unfortunately, when I bought it, I don't know if you can see this, but the neck was cracked. But I glued it together and it's staying together for the most part. Yeah, now you can see it. Yeah, so the neck was cracked and I glued it together. Seems to be staying together, but I mean, I only paid $100 for it. I do have a Telecaster that I keep in my room. This one's just in the studio. I would like to get more instruments in here. Now I'm gonna get into some of the lighting. So here, as you can see, I have a Good Vibes neon light, you know, for the good vibes, clearly. I would like to add some decor back here. I should probably add treatment, but I'd rather have some decor back there. I was thinking of like having that grass decor back there. And then having the Good Vibes kind of poking through that. I think that'll look fly. Here, I have acoustic treatment by GIK. This wood piece is supposed to act as diffusion. And this is, I'm pretty sure this is 2 inches thick. And I believe this is 4 feet by 1 foot. And again, this is GIK. A bunch of studios have the GIK acoustic treatment, so apparently they're killing it, and they advertise well because, you know, that's what I went with. This panel right here, this is, I'm gonna say it's like 1 inch thick, and this is, I got off Sweetwater. This came in a pack of 8. They're like the London 8 somethings. I can never remember the exact name, but I threw these up here, put them on the wall. Behind here, I have some LED lights, and I got a bass guitar that I was working on years ago. You can kind of see it, but it's in pieces, and I just never got to buying pickups for it and like restringing it. I just lost the passion to put it back together, honestly. And on this wall, I have some cables. Can never have too many cables. Some cables are actually missing because I let somebody borrow it. Gotta, you know, gotta sign there, gotta keep people motivated. Be dope, everybody. On the wall, tucked under this little piece, I have some LEDs. Of course, they change color like LEDs do. This is a custom panel by Acoustimax or Acoustimatic. I'll leave a link in the description. But of course, I got my man Neve up there. The World Is Yours is one of my favorite songs of all time. And of course, Neve is my favorite rapper of all time. I got this little section here for some tea, and inside here I got cables. I got cables pretty much everywhere. Cables, some garbage bags, some tea, like phone chargers. On the side of here I got some extra things. I got some chargeable batteries. I keep the Iconic Mars tucked under there. I don't really use this at all, but you know, it's good to have in case I do need it for some reason. And on the other side, it's a bit hard to see, I keep bottled water on the other side. So these two pieces, right, this is a heater. It's on, it's March, it's kind of cold out, so I got the heat going. And there is a heater / air conditioning unit by Toshiba. The AC section, where the AC part works better than the heating part, but this works well for the room I'm in. Unfortunately, while you're recording, these two things are usually off because I don't want to get inside the recording. And to kind of further talk about the acoustic treatment, I have over the windows, I have these blackout curtains. So if I close it, it's pretty far. Some blackout curtains. These are doubled up, so I have two. I have two going on here. Over the door, I have curtains. I got some acoustic treatment there. I just threw that on, just to throw it on. But this right here, this is tripled up. 1, 2, 3. That one's shorter. And I have it on this pole. Cool. If you're wondering why there's caution tape there, if you're over 6 feet, you're probably gonna hit your head on this, so I'll put that caution tape there. So, and on this side, sorry it's kind of dark over here, but I just only have these doubled up. I got some hooks on the door. I got this thing in there. I got some more XLR cables. I bought these off Amazon. These are very convenient. Hang up your coat, hang up your bag. Under here too, I have a towel to kind of block the air from coming under the door. I had to turn the light on for this so you guys can see this. There's like this foam pad here to block cold air from coming in, and of course added bonus to block some of the sound just a little bit. So if I open it, you can see it's on the door. And I have some stools here for people that are recording guitar. Of course, you need to sit on the stool for that. Makes that convenient. This is also something I want to tie into this. So on the ceiling, I have these diffusers, which is usually where I place my microphone. And then I have some little cheap acoustic treatment that I got off Amazon. They look pretty cool. I'm pretty sure they're doing something or whatever. And here, I have an acoustic panel above my desk to kind of absorb whatever is hitting the ceiling, and that's there for that. So now let's get into the juicy stuff. So under here I have an AKG C414 XLII. This is my main microphone I use for vocals. I primarily record vocals and guitar and acoustic guitar. Love this mic, solid mic, super clean and transparent. Very good for pop vocals. It kind of has a boost in the high end frequencies. If you have like a very sibilant performer, you may run into some problems with sibilance, but it shouldn't be too crazy. Just de-ess it, or throw a de-esser on there. I'm using a foam pop filter just because I like how easy this is to clean. And pop filters aren't like, they're not drastically going to change things. But mainly I got this because it's easy to clean. And I have it on a Framework Gator microphone stand, trying to get it to focus on this. Very sturdy. I wanted something that'd get pretty high so I can hang the microphone like this, so if a performer is here singing, they can kind of, move their hands around, or have their phone there, or use a mic stand, prop it here, and have like room to perform and move and be animated. And for tracking, I'm using the closed-back headphones by Bayer Dynamic. These are the DT770 Pro. This is the 250 ohm, just because I, get that more detail. I really don't mix with headphones on. If I were to get headphones to mix with, I would probably get the open back version of these, or Neumann makes some open back ones that I really want. They're very expensive, but I'm a sucker for like Neumann products and stuff like that, even though ironically I don't have anything by Neumann. And right here I have a Whirlwind Mini 6. This is a snake that I use to route my microphones into my interface. So the AKG is plugged into line 1, but the rest of the lines are plugged into my secondary interface. So on this rack I have a power conditioner, I have a preamp by Behringer, and the condition by Behringer. I'm not even sure if these work. These were in my trunk for like a year, being slammed around in my trunk. Not even sure if these work. These are just here to kind of, so now have like a empty spot rack. I don't know. Okay, quick question. Other people with studios, right? If you have like empty rack space, does it bother you that there's empty rack space? Like, for some reason, I can't stand having an empty rack. Like, my mind tells me that I need to fill it with something. And no matter what it is, I need to fill that rack with something. If you're guilty of that, please let me know. I'm not alone in that. Up here, I got this baby. This is a DI box by Rupert Neve. This is the first piece of gear I've got by Rupert Neve. DI boxes probably aren't the most exciting thing, but I was super excited about this DI box. I didn't get to use this yet. I can't wait to use this. But I was listening to different DI boxes, and I looked at a couple blind tests, and I ended up picking this one specifically twice out of the blind tests that I did watch. And I was like, no, you know what I'm saying? This, it's clearly meant to be. I clearly needed this DI box. I'm a hip hop guy. I like to sample off vinyl. So this is how I sample vinyl. This is the Audio Technica. It's a long name. Audio Technica. Let me move this up. ATLP 120X USB. And this is how I convert my analog vinyl samples to digital. In the corner, I got some more acoustic treatment, some bass traps. Made these by hand. And here is some more acoustic treatment. These are part of that London 8-pack. Again, I think it's like 1 inch thick, and I want to say it's 4 feet by 1 foot. I am using a Apple Mac Mini. This is the M1 chip. This is not maxed out by any means. I'm pretty sure I got the it's a 16 gig with 500 something gigs of storage. I haven't had any problems with it as far as like recording and latency. It's working fine for me. I don't have any plans on replacing this for now. Next to it is, I'm gonna turn this light on. So next to it is an external hard drive by Glips. Trying to get a good angle on there. This is an external hard drive. This is the Studio RAID, and this has 6 terabytes of storage. And this is where I store all my sessions and all the good stuff. I hardly ever store anything on the computer itself. All right, back to this side. So as you can see, I do have a Focusrite 18i20. Let me turn this on so you can see it more. Power conditioner. I got this plate here. Again, I don't like having empty rack space. So this interface is connected to my main interface, which I'll show you in a second. So essentially I only use the preamps, and I'm using the clocking on here because I have the other one hooked up through ADAT. And my other interface that I'm using mainly only has an ADAT in. This right here is a monitor control system. You know, I'm gonna have to let me turn the lights on for this. Let me get up, turn the lights on, turn it brighter so we can see what we're talking about. This is what I use to control my speaker monitors. So this is a monitor system by Behringer. This is called the Monitor 2 USB. This is working for me perfectly. You know, this big knob is how I turn the overall volume up. It has a little bit of a stepped to it, like it kind of clicks in certain spots. It's not an aggressive click, but yeah. And this is how you change the source. So this is the computer. I can plug something up into the back of there, like somebody computer, if they want to monitor through, you know, the speakers that I'm using, they would just plug into the back of this, and then I'd switch the source. And if I had a second pair of speakers, which I used to, but now I'm only using one, you know, I'll click that. So if I got a second pair, I click that, boom. Very straightforward, very simple. The headphone amplifier on these is really good. If you turn these up loud, like I've turned it up halfway, I would never turn these up all the way because you're gonna damage your ears. Like, these get really, really loud. So the computer monitor I'm using is Asus, however you pronounce that. This is fairly cheap. I didn't need anything crazy, and I have dual screens, as you can see. So the interface I'm using is the Antelope Audio Zen-Q Synergy Core. This little piece is very comparable to the Universal Audio Apollo Twin, but the difference is this is cheaper and does essentially the same thing. I love UAD though. Just get that out the way. And then above this, I have an external preamp by Warm Audio. Warm Audio, too good. Very clean, transparent preamp. And if you kind of want to drive it a little bit, turn the red knob, turn the input up. And then up here, above it, I have a DBX 160A compressor. And this is also part of my vocal chain. This is a VCA style compressor. In my opinion, this is a very underrated compressor. You can get this for cheap. You can get this for like $300. I bought this used. I want to say I bought it used for like $200 something. And it's simple. It's just you control your threshold, your ratio, and then your output gain. If I do replace this, I would like to replace it with a distressor compressor by Imperial Labs. It's because they have a little bit more control over it, but I'm in no rush to replace this. I probably wouldn't even sell this. I'll probably pop it somewhere else in my chain and just keep this because I do really like this compressor. I am using the Atom Audio T8Vs. Previously, I had these on mic stands and they were back there. They're a little bit further apart because over here I have my KRK Rocket 5s. I want to say these are the 3rd generation that are in there, but I moved these to the top of the desk. One of the problems I'm having with this now, right? You kind of see where I'm sitting. Let me raise this chair up a little bit. So raise the chair up. Ideally, right? You want your tweeters to be ear level. And this is not ear level. It's above. I do have these tilted down. Let me move this clock. I do have these tilted down to kind of offset that, but this is also something I would like to replace. So I was thinking about replacing these and getting the Atom Audio A7Vs because you can turn those horizontally, even though it's not truly suggested that you turn it horizontally. They say it works better vertically. Or I was thinking of getting the Atom Audios. Clearly, I'm an Atom Audio fan. The Atom Audio A4Vs, which are smaller, and I can get those air level, and then getting a subwoofer. The A4Vs with the subwoofer is going to be a little bit more expensive. Honestly, I'm leaning more towards getting the Atom Audio A7Vs and just rolling with that. Why I like this Antelope Audio ZenQ Synergy Core, because it has real-time signal processing, as you can see here. So this is the interface, and you have access to like some fire plugins and compressors. And lately, I've been fanboying over the Fairchild it says 670, but I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be the 660 because this is mono. The 670 is the stereo compressor. If I click in here and I add an effect, these are all of the options that you have. There's a bunch of stuff here. Very worth it. And I'm an Ableton guy, so I produce and I make beats in Ableton, and I record and mix in Pro Tools. But honestly, I haven't really been a fan of Pro Tools for a long time because I don't really like the way Avid treats their customers and like their practices. So I'm highly contemplating, and this is probably going to happen, I'm going to switch over to Ableton just for everything. I think when it comes to production and recording, Ableton Live is for sure the way to go. And here I have, this is what I typically use for my YouTube videos. This is the Rode PodMic, and connected to this I have a people might call this a cloud lifter, but cloud lifter is the name of a company. But this is a low preamp on here, and I do need phantom power to charge this. Just so I get kind of a cleaner signal, and I don't have to turn the preamp as much as I would have without this little piece. And it's, to me, it's more streamlined and looks better than the cloud lifter. And of course, I'm on a Rode boom arm connected to the desk. It moves very nicely. And under here, I have a MIDI keyboard. This MIDI keyboard is by Novation, and this is the 49 SL Mark III. I'm not really a piano player, and I don't use this to its maxed ability, but it's a nice looking keyboard. Here I have an MPC. I haven't used this in a while. I'm pretty sure I have to update the firmware. I am on 3.0, but I was having some problems with 3.0, and that's kind of why I kind of stopped using it a little bit. But yeah, I'm still in the process of learning how to fully use an MPC. I'm not quite super comfortable and fluent with using an MPC. It's not a simple machine, but it's very fun to be able to produce on a standalone device. The headphones I use when I'm tracking someone, and sometimes I'm mixing these. Classic, of course, this is the closed-back headphones by Sony. These are the MDR 7506s. Super affordable. They're like $100. You can buy them used for probably like 80. The pad is starting to kind of wear out a little bit, but you know, these are $100 headphones, so this is something that's gonna happen. So if I do replace these, I'm gonna be honest, I will probably just upgrade. I don't think I'd buy another pair of these. This is my second pair, but if I do upgrade, I don't know, I might buy another pair of these. We'll see. And my microphone locker, this microphone locker is mad ghetto. Some of my microphones aren't here because I'm letting somebody borrow them for the time, but this microphone is an AKG. I'm an AKG fanboy too, so if you ask me for suggestions on microphones, I'm probably gonna say AKG because I really like AKG. This is a small pencil condenser microphone. I use these to record acoustic guitar, comparable to the Shure SM57. I do have a Shure SM57, but it's not in the studio at the moment. All right, here I have a Shure KSM-27. These microphones aren't that popular, but phenomenal microphone. You can buy this used. I'm pretty sure you can buy this microphone used for like $200. I'm surprised this microphone isn't more popular. Like, it comes with a shock mount, nice sturdy beautiful shock mount, a pouch to keep the microphone, and this is the microphone itself. This microphone has a super solid build, has 3 roll-off settings, and it has a pad on it. Of course, this is cardioid polar pattern. If you're looking on getting a microphone for vocals and you don't feel like spending a bunch of money, but you want super quality recordings, I highly suggest getting this Shure KSM-27. I'm pretty sure they stopped making these, so you're gonna have to buy it used, but this microphone is super solid, and this is the microphone that I've had the longest. I've had this microphone for, I want to say, over 10 years, and this microphone isn't going anywhere. I would never sell this. Yeah, so this has been the tour. Chillville Studio 2025. And hey, if y'all like what y'all seeing, y'all want some more content or the regular YouTube lingo, leave a comment, like, subscribe, all that yada yada yada. Hey, listen, if you have a studio tour on YouTube, please let me know in the comment section, and I will 100% watch it, because I absolutely love watching studio tours. It's one of my favorite things to watch on YouTube, and of course I like making it. So hey, we're gonna start the deuces up.